Hello, good morning, teachers. Good morning, all my dear friends. Wish you a happy day today. Today's lesson will be about tips for the first school week for new teachers. Before I present my lesson, I want you to have a deep look at these pictures. What do you think of this class? Is it a happy class? Is it an interesting one or a boring one? As you see, students are so bored. Some of them are sleeping, some of them are imagining, they are not inside the class, their minds are outside the class. They are not interested in any way in the session you are presenting. Okay, this is a kind of class. Another one will be this. This is an interesting class. The students are participating inside the class. They are just doing activities on the board, and they are talking together and cooperating together to have a very good session. So the last two pictures will lead to a sleeping, boring class, and this picture will lead to a very good environment, very good class, an interesting one, and a lot of engaged students during the lesson. So which one do you prefer? If you want to see this class as your class, you have to follow some tips so you have a successful year. So let's go to our lesson today. Our lesson today, we will talk about how to be ready for your school year, if you are a new teacher or even if you are an experienced teacher. Like other first days in your life, your first day as a teacher in your own school or your own class will have you feeling both excited and anxious. So don't worry too much. Even experienced teachers feel anxious about facing new students at the beginning of each school year. Just take a deep breath, look around your newly decorated classroom, double check those lesson plans, and remind yourself of all you've done to get the year off to a successful start. These school year startup tips will help you make a positive first impression to your students. You will make sure that you have a good impression if your first day activities involve all of your students in ways that allow them to be successful. Of course, this will reflect that you are caring, organized leader who is focused on creating stimulating and cooperative environments, which of course will lead to a successful year for you. So let's go and see the 10 teacher tips for the first week of the school. Number 1, be familiar with the school. If you are a new teacher, you have to know all about your new school. You have to learn the layout of the school. You have to be aware of the entrances and exits, knowing the locations. So this is, of course, before the beginning of the new year. So it will be easy for you that you can help if no students have questions for you. You have to locate the storeroom that you can make copies, prepare materials, and also you have to meet all your fellow teachers, even if they are not in the same subject that you are going to teach. Tip number 2, know the school policies for teachers. This is a very important point, to know your rules and your regulations. Some schools have policies and procedures for teachers that you need to learn. So you have to know about this. If they have a paper or a book or something that you sign about knowing the rules and regulation of the school, you have to keep a copy on your mobile, or an extra things that you can write some rules to not forget them. For example, paying attention for the things like attendance policies, discipline plans. If the school has a certain uniform that you have to follow, you have to pay attention for this. Make sure you know how to request a day off in case of illness, if you are sick or something. and you know how many days your sick days are, you can ask your co-workers to clarify any unclear rules, but it's important to know how the administration expects you to handle these rules, and also to know how to handle disruptive students. Is there any punishment rules for the students? Are you allowed to kick the bad students or the naughty students outside the class? You have to know all these rules about yourself and about your students. And this will lead us to number 3. Know the school policies for students. Also, if they have a school book or papers that it's written on it, the rules of the policies for the students or regulation for the students, you have to know all about them. You should ask about the policies and procedures for students that you need to learn. That's, for example, if they have to follow the uniform, attendance, the in-class behavior. Some schools have different policies regarding students, like using cell phone. Some schools do not allow students to use cell phones. And when students use the cell phone inside the class, they take it for example, for the whole year, or by the end of the term, they handle it to the parents, or by the end of the day, according to the school and its rules. Other schools are more flexible. They give 2 or 3 warnings before they take the cell phone from the students. So you have to know which category your school falls under. Number 4, arrive early. And this is a very important point from the first day. You have to arrive early at school on the first day to get settled in your classroom, to know your schedule. You make sure you have your materials organized, and you have to be ready to go, and so you do not have to hunt for anything after the bell rings. So arrive early, organize yourself, and be on a happy mood or a smiley mood to just meet the new students. Number 5, meet your colleagues, meet your co-workers, meet and begin to make friends with your co-workers, especially those who teach the same subject or teach beside the classrooms near yours. You will turn to them first with the questions and concerns. It's also essential that you meet and begin to build relationships with the key people like school secretary, school security, library, the media specialist, the person or the individual who is in charge of teachers' absence, all these. And please, while dealing with the administration or the administration staff, be understanding. They have a lot of work upon their head. So be understanding that you will not see them with that happy face you used to see them the first year, at the beginning of the year. So be understanding as much as you can, and just be on point. Don't ask general questions. Ask what you really need to know. Tips number 6, organize your classroom. You usually get a week or less before the first day of school to set up your classroom. So make sure to arrange classroom desks the way you want them for the school year, and also cooperate with the other teachers in your class to know which arrangement for the desks is the best. Take some time to add decorations to, for example, bulletin boards of the what we call the schedule and the name list. Hang posters, put honor charts, weather charts, and things like this. Some schools, they have already made posters, and others you have to decorate yourself. Tip number 7, prepare materials for the first day. As long as my experience is concerned, this is a very important point, to prepare materials for the first day. This is how you are going to lead your students. If you start the first day as if open your book, listen, open your lesson number 1, unit number 1, and so on, and just go deeper in the curriculum without introducing your students to the school year. This is a very bad start. And like this, you will get all your students bored from the very first day. And as long as small young learners knows, they will not get used to this, and they will not accept the concept of getting everything you are saying from the first day. So let's make the first day, it's a fun day or something. Prepare materials like they call IDs for your students, like you are going to get printed paper where they can put their pictures or draw themselves and write some notes about themselves, their names, their favorite color, their hobby, their whatever they like to write on it. So one of the first things you should learn is the procedure, of course, for making photocopies for all of these stuff. Some schools require to turn in requests in advance, so the office staff can make the copies for you. Other schools allow you to make them yourself. In either case, you need to plan ahead to prepare copies for the first day. And also, you have to put in your mind that you have to make your first session funny, happy, and put the rules for your classroom from the very first session. Okay, know where supplies are kept also. This will help you if you can direct your students where they can put their books and things like this. Number 8, create detailed lesson plans for the first week. For me, I like to do like this. I have 2 copybooks, 2 big copybooks. One, it's like a sketch for drawing, and the other, it's like a preparation copybook. On the preparation copybook, I just put the schedule, put the name list, put the date and the subject and the curriculum division, whatever I like to put, the academic or the official papers that I will use in my year. And I will plan my lesson in this copybook, which I call preparation copybook. I put the objectives, keywords, and things like this according to the school or the administration plan that you are handled before the beginning of the year. The other one, for me, it's the most important one. It's like a small sketch for the division of the board. How my board is going to be like. I divide this, it's like a sketch for drawing. I draw a board on it as if this is my board and this is what I'm going to do exactly in my class. I'll divide it into 3 parts, and the part number 1, I'll call it for review. In the middle, the main information, and at the end, the 3rd part will be for games, for competition, for any extra thing, for the homework, whatever I like to do it. But the main information will be in the middle of the board. So I just designed in this sketch copybook or these papers, I just designed the same what I'm going to do inside my class on the board. So it will be easy for me to visualize what I have drawn at my home, what I've drawn before I come to the class. So it will not be surprising for me that where I'm going to put the date and where the title, where I put the review, I will not be confused. It'll be so organized. I'll be saving all the time for doing this. And I prefer in my classroom, I put to-do list. For example, I'm saying for higher grades, I'm going to finish with you this lesson, and we are going to talk about it, and then we are going to discuss the homework, and then we are going to play a game. So I'll tell them what I'm going to do. When I come back, or when I finish my session, and I go back to this sketch or this copybook, I will know which point exactly I missed, which point I didn't just clarify well, and I have to go back the next day to clarify it. This is very helpful, very organized, very time saver. You'll not waste any moment in your class if you're doing this. And it will be very, very nice if you write for each activity how long it will last. For example, warming up for 5 minutes. Do some exercise for 10 minutes. Do another one for another 5 minutes, and so on. So make detailed lesson plans, including directions for yourself on what to do throughout each class period for at least the first week. Some people even do this for the first month. So you have to read them carefully, know them carefully, and also have a backup plan. Sometimes I prepare something like a CD or my laptop or projector, and I have a shortage on electricity. I have electricity is off, and I don't know what to do. This session is wasted. So I have to have a backup plan. Backup plan like I will say the tape script, I will play another game, I will shift the lesson and give another lesson, whatever it is, but just have a backup plan. And also just keep in your minds if you have extra students in the class for the cabbies, that if you are photocopying something for them. Number 9, practice technology. This is very, very important for the teachers who are using CD players, flashcards, and things like this. Sorry, not flashcards, speakers, projectors, smart boards. You have to be ready with this. Take your time in training, taking your time in knowing every and single button on these objects. Don't enter your class and you're not knowing how to stop and how to pause a CD player, or you're not knowing how to switch on and switch off the projector and get help from the other. This affects a lot on your class and on your students. They will feel that you are an ignorant person, which is not something good to show to the students. So be ready beforehand. Be ready with your things. Check your CDs. Be sure to practice with the technology before the start even of the school. Check your CD players. Check your connections, smart boards, projectors. Don't just get it inside the class without knowing how to switch it on and switch it off, how to pause it. And this will just make your sessions easier. Now, we are on the first day. We are in the classroom and we are ready to start our year. This point is very important. Write your name on the board so students can learn it right away. Even if you are an old teacher in this school, you will have some new students in your class in a way or another. You have to write your name on the board, write a small welcome message. You can write a small question to just let their minds work. For example, welcome grade 6, I'm looking forward to learning with you. Let's have an amazing year. And then I ask, what is your favorite sport? Something like this. What are your goals? What did you do in your vacation? And things like this. And decorate my board with a happy face, with hearts, with whatever I like. So having fun activity is very important. Write your name. Start your day with having fun activity. It's something like ice-breaking activities like dot-to-dot, writing something, so students get engaged. For primary grades, try dot-to-dot, try matching, try drawing activities. But for higher grades, you can write an essay or a word search game. They will love it. Word search game is very, very nice. These activities are an easy, comfortable way to start the day. Do some fun, just to put everyone at ease. Let the students introduce themselves to each other. Okay, this for all the students, consider creating class dictionary, for example. Ask them to get their copy books, and at the end of the copy book, they put just words and definitions and things like this. Also, you can play guess games, play just any games to break the ice between you and the students. For KGs in kindergarten, you can use read a book or sing a song and play with blocks and things like this. They need colorful materials. Note the following. When you are on the first day, you have to greet each student. Greet each student and begin to learn their names. You have to note that. You have to get a picky eye. Picky eye means you have to pick the new students and know it and know how to deal with them. The new students in your school or in your class are like strange people for all around them, are like aliens for the other students. So you have to make intimacy between them, between the old ones and new ones. If you notice this picture number one, picture number two. In picture number two, this girl, she's looking up, she's looking all around. She seems to getting know the whole school or the whole building. She seems new. For me, she seems new. As a teacher, I have to pick these and I have to know how to deal with them. I have to know how to make them mingle, how to make them go and just play with other students. I have to help these new students. So as for the first day, I like to stand at the door, smile warmly, and greet students as they enter the classroom. Also try to memorize their names for a few students. I know it's difficult if you have a large classroom, but you try to memorize. This is make you close to the students. Have students create name tags for their desks, maybe. They can put it on their desks as an activity for the first day. Remember, you are setting the tone for the whole year. And of course, smiling does not mean that you are a weak teacher. Some teachers used to think that you have to get inside the class with a bad face or with a sad face or with a strong attitude, so the students will be afraid from you or will obey you the whole year. This is not true. This is not true. You are building strong walls between you and the students. But you have to just smile, relax, be strict, but in a good way. Invite students to their desks, and then as soon as they enter the class, they will fight who will sit at the first row and who is sitting at the end and things like this. Just make them understand that it's kind of rotation inside the class. It's not fixed place, this one have to sit in this place, no. And by this, you are just building the pace, the rules for the class in a good way. Introduce the important features of the class and the school. For example, you'll tell them these are the shelves, you put your Arabic books here, English books here, and things like this, and introduce them for the school. We are going down from here, from this place, and we are going to the toilet from this place. Introduce them for the features of the class and the school also. Present the most important classroom routines. Don't just put rules. Try to let them, even in higher grades, to let them think with you. Tell them the procedures, tell them the classrooms that you as a teacher like to see. And this is a very important point. Explain and discuss, give students chance to practice such routines. For example, when I say, just raise your hands when you want to ask a question. So you ask them to do this. Make certain signs with them. For example, if you point one finger, it means I want a question. If you point two fingers, it means I want to go to the toilet. If you point three fingers, it means I want to drink. Just practice your own rules and put your own ways to make your sessions easy. Okay. Deal promptly with behavior problems. You set the rules. Do what and do not do what. From the very first day, those who are not following the rules try to just immediately do a positive way. I will not say punishing them, positive way to direct them to the right thing to do. Offer a lot of positive reinforcement for students, but don't ignore the behavior problems. Don't ignore it. Okay? Just remind them every now and then. You can even write these rules on a paper or a poster and hang them. But let them all sign on it if they are higher grades, and hang them in front of them. And just in front of them and tell them, you did that, this will lead to that. You will do that, this will lead to that. You will do that, this will lead to that. And things like this. Finally, generate interest and enthusiasm by handing at exciting new topics you plan. At the end of the day, the first day, if your class is like that and you are like that, you will have a successful year. If you have your class board like the first picture, you have to rethink about the tips that we had. This is not the last one. There's another part for this for these tips, but later on another lesson we will see you. Wish you a happy school year, and thank you very much for listening to me. Goodbye. Best wishes. Wish you a very, very happy year. Thank you very much.